Alright guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about my ban list prediction. We will probably receive the ban list within the next few days at or around the 20th as normally when it is announced, and then it will be in effect on the release of the next pack. We are over here on Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta actually, and first things to look at is the tier list here on Master Duel Meta, where you can see Tenpai Dragon is still at the top, no big surprise here. We have Snake Eye Fire King, which I don't really see on the ladder a lot, but apparently people are still playing this in the tournament. We have Jubel here in tier 2, and then tier 3 we have some other stuff here, Gimmick Puppet, Labyrinth, Ritual Beast, no big surprise here, so nothing too fancy, nothing too new. We can also take a look at Untapped GG, where you can hop over and see the tier list, which is a tier list of like actual data from people playing the game with the Untapped GG browser in the game available, basically. We can see right here the A tier with the best win percentages is Tenpai Dragons, obviously, and then Voices Voice. Pretty surprising, honestly, but we can also see here in terms of how popular this deck is, only 3.1%, so these numbers are obviously not super accurate. We can see right here, Jubel is being played at 4.5 and has 54.3. So with a higher number, like the number here on Tenpai Dragon, 15.5, we would have the better numbers here, so Voices Voice wouldn't be that strong. Mathmech still quite strong, no big surprise. We still have the Circular here at 3, and they will have to do something about Mathmech, about Circular, when Malice comes, because otherwise I think it's just a bit too strong. We have Labyrinth here, no big surprise. Labyrinth can always tank against everything, basically. Gimmick Puppet with a not unfair percentage of win rate. This deck will be hit at some point, but obviously not yet, since all of the cards are just in the shop right now, same as with the White Forest stuff, which probably won't even get hit, but yeah, we don't see a Gimmick Puppet hit right now. It's too early for that. But one deck that is definitely not too early to be hitting is the Tenpai Dragon deck. And the obvious candidates are the Second Summoning, the Chandra, or the Kaiman. And you can see right here, actually, this number indicating that we have this at 1 in the TCG. All of them are at 1, actually, which is quite insane. The first one going to 1 in every format besides Master Duel was Second Summoning. Then there was the Chandra that followed, and we also have the Kaiman at 1 in the TCG. Since the Kaiman and the Chandra are ultra rares and we don't need to hurry here, my prediction is that I'm nearly 100% sure that we will see a Tenpai hit here. People are definitely fed up with the deck. It has been around for a long time. The pack is no longer in the shop, so it's definitely time to hit this. I would predict Second Summoning goes to 1 here. Since we get a monthly ban list, we don't need to hit a Second Summoning and Tenpai Dragon Chandra to 1, for example. And since the Chandra and the Kaiman are ultra rares, I would subject that Konami will probably start with the super rares first, going with the Second Summoning going to 1. This will not stop the deck at all. We will at least need the hit of Tenpai Dragon Chandra going to 1 also, in order to really push this back. And then we might, this might still be playable then with the Second Kaiman at 3, but we will have to see, because it is predicted that we will get the Fiendsmith stuff within the next pack. Decade made a hint, and it's also a bit logical that we will get it right now. We will know more probably on Monday. Monday we will most likely have the confirmation on the Fiendsmith stuff, and I guess the cool thing is, if we get the Fiendsmith stuff, then this will blow a new Odom of life to Jubel, which is still being played, and also Snake Eyes. You can also play Fiendsmith as a control variant, depending on how many of the Fiendsmith cards we are getting, obviously. So if we're getting the the entire package, which you can play as a control variant, if we also get the Lacrima, which the Lacrima really helps the engine recycle cards, and the Akmonday, for example. If we only get the first wave, we will only get the Requiem Engraver together with Sequence, Desiree, Fiendsmith Tract, the now forbidden Lacrima. Yeah, but I think, but we will have to see, and the Sanct is also from the first wave, but this is the worst card of them all. We will see how this will work out. I can definitely, this is a support wave we won't get, since this is OCG. I think that if we get the Fiendsmith stuff, we will get all of these 10 cards here, honestly. And if that's the case, then you can play a control Fiendsmith deck if you wanted to, but you can also put this in every deck. So this is actually, this is a nice engine coming to Master Duel, since it will revive a lot of decks. Also Memento, which we don't see on the list right here, will be able to use it. So I think it's quite nice putting Second Summoning to 1, since if we get Fiendsmith, then Fiendsmith will definitely push a lot of decks up to be on the same power level as Tenpai, in my opinion. So we don't really need more hits than the Second Summoning going to 1. And honestly, talking about the hits that we need, I think Second Summoning going to 1 or something about Temper Dragon is definitely all that we need, honestly, depending on whether we get Fiendsmith or not. You can let me know in the comments what you think, but here's, for example, the Team OSES Santiago, which is a while ago, or was a while ago in the TCG, and you can see right here, yugioh was the most represented deck with 41% with the Fiendsmith engine. And then we have Temper Dragon at 25, and then we have Snake Eyes Fiendsmith once again here. And then I think the Unchained deck was also complemented with Fiendsmith, and Snake Eyes Fire King also had Fiendsmith, I think. I'm a bit surprised that Memento isn't here. I think the support wasn't out right there and then. But we can see right here, the yugioh deck is here with not the entire Fiendsmith line, but only the first wave, basically. And they might want to hit some of the decks that will get better via Fiendsmith beforehand. That would be yugioh, that would be Snake Eyes, maybe. So I would either expect a list that only really hits a Tenpai and then brings some stuff back from the list, as they always do. Probably the however called the Dragon Rulers, since we now have the confirmation, if you have not seen this, for new Dragon Ruler support cards in the future. This will obviously take a while until they will be with us in Master Duel, but the TCG ban list has recently put the Dragon Rulers down to 3. Let's put them back at 3. Do we also have them at 3 right now? Okay, we already have them unlimited. Okay, I guess then they will not come back since they are already back. But as I already said, I see some sort of Temper Dragon hit here, probably the Second Summoning going to 1-0, and then either we will get some hits for yugioh. Most likely it would probably be yugioh, honestly. Maybe the Phantom of yugioh going to 1, or maybe what else could we hit here? Maybe something with the Throne, something with the Opening of the Spirit Gates, maybe to 1, if they really wanted to also address yugioh, since it is the most intact deck, I think, and yugioh Fiendsmith will probably be better than Snake Eyes Fiendsmith, just because Snake Eyes has some really hard hits over in Master Duel. So they could definitely hit yugioh before they release the Fiendsmith stuff. But they have to understand that this yugioh version here is also, in comparison to this Snake Eyes version that they have here, their Snake Eye version is definitely better than our Snake Eye version. Now it is forbidden, obviously, in the TCG, but back in the day it wasn't. But they still have the Bonfire at 3, for example. They still have the Wanted at 3, so their Snake Eyes is better than our Snake Eyes in comparison to yugioh, but yugioh was still dominating. So this is something that our meta could look like after the Fiendsmith pack in most likely January. We also have White Forest. All of this basically fits. Maybe the Memento would be on here as well. Yeah, as I already said, this was, I think, unhit Tenpai Dragon, if I remember this correctly, or did we already have? The Second Summoning was already at 1, but everything else was at 3. We had this at 3. So this would basically be the Tenpai list that we will have probably next month, and then we get the Fiendsmith stuff, and then we have the yugioh Fiendsmith list, and yeah, this could be our meta, and this is exactly what I mean. We could definitely see some hits to the yugioh deck, so that we don't have this very yugioh dominated meta, but we will have to see. The yugioh here also has, or had at that time, triple Phantom of yugioh, which we already have at 2, so we might already have achieved this, a more balanced game state in comparison to the Team OSES Santiago. But yeah, these are the 2 lines that I can see. We will probably get the hit on the Temper Dragon, and then maybe something for the yugioh deck here if we get the Fiendsmith stuff. And will we see the Fiendsmith stuff coming with something on the ban list? So will something be on the ban list with the release of the Fiendsmith engine? I don't think so in the beginning. I don't really think so. I also don't know what this would be. We will probably never see something like the Lacrima being forbidden directly. The Fiendsmith Engraver to 1 would also be pretty crazy. Maybe to 2, maybe, but I don't really see it. So I don't think we will see something like this. The most likely line is the Tenpai Dragon hit, and then some non-essential hits. And yeah, as I already said, decks like Gibby Puppet will stay for now, since they are very new, but in the future they will also have to be addressed, since they are very toxic. But let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think will get hit? What do you think should get hit? What are you most annoyed with? Probably Tenpai, I guess, but let me know in the comments. I'm very interested, and we will see each other in the next one.